When I grow up, I don't want a family. Families suck. I made my family disappear. I'm home alone, guys. Hi, guys. Welcome back into my channel. Today is just going to be a super casual, chatty, get ready with me. I'm going to catch you up on what's been going on in my life this week while I put on my makeup of the day. So I hope that sounds like fun to you. So if it does, stick around. We're getting into it now. Guys, I might have found the right backdrop for me now because the setup that I have going now, I love it because I can easily turn around and shop my stash. And all of my makeup is here except for eyeshadow palettes. I have my Pat McGrath motherships here to try to encourage me to reach for them more often. And then I have a stack of palettes that I'm like working on or whatever right here. So, and then I have here on my makeup table, my little section of go-to neutral eyeshadow palettes that I'm currently reaching for. So I love that I have everything right here within reach. That being said, I did already shop my stash. Having this cute little tray right there by all of my makeup, I was able to just put all of my products into here and then I can just set it here on my makeup table and film with you. So I think this is going to be a good working setup for me, but let's go ahead and get started with the makeup. I meant to pull this off. All right, so if I'm a little off center or leaning towards one way like this, it's because I currently have a broken foot. Yeah, my foot is broken, so it's sitting up here over to the side, and honestly, I don't think I have it elevated high enough. So I don't know how long I'm going to be able to film, honestly. But I'm going to try to get through this video because, yeah, I really don't want content to slow down on my channel yet again. I'm going to start off by just putting this e.l.f. Halo Glow all over my face, except for on my nose. Just so that I can get a little bit of shine and glow underneath the foundations that I'm going to use today. You heard that right. That was foundations with an S. I'm going to be mixing both of my About Face foundation shades today. So let me just open up my makeup brushes and like really get into this. Hold on. What is that? That's my Fude Eyes. Don't need that one yet. I'm going to use this one for now. Yeah, so anyway, I have a broken foot. Let me tell you what happened. Okay, so it all kind of leads back to my stomach and, you know, how I've been like really ill lately more often than not and how it's been affecting what I can and cannot do in life. Okay, so that being said, my family is out of town right now on a trip. I don't really want to share a whole lot of details about why they went out of town or whatever, but it was a trip that couldn't be rescheduled in order to incorporate me, you know? And so anyways, I didn't think that I would be able to go. And so I just shaking my foundations. Hold on. I have the two olive shades. These are the shades that I have. Anyway, I'm going to mix those and try to get to my current shade. Yeah, so if I'd rather be at home. Oh, fuck, I just made a mess. That's like the one big major downside to this packaging is just that the doe foot applicator is a little bit too big and she's coming out of a little bit too tight of a hole to where it does like plop out makeup all over your surroundings. Anyway, I'm going to use my lighter shade here towards the center of my face, and then the darker one out here. Okay, so anyway, Yeah, so when we made these plans, so when this trip came up in the books for us and we started planning it, I was like, as much as I would like to go, I don't think that I'm going to be ready to travel at that time. I just, I'm still trying to work through my health issues that are, like, quite frankly, very debilitating. I'm going to share some more exciting stuff in this in just a second. Anyways, this is why I'm home alone. That's right. I'm home alone, guys. Yeah, I sent my family away to go on this trip without me, because it was just going to be easier, because, not only do I need to be in good health to travel, generally speaking, but, for it to not debilitate me further, but I now have 3 dogs, 3 elderly dogs that would be traveling with us. And that's a lot for me to have to deal with, like to have to take them out, put them on and off of leashes every time they need to go out to the restroom and all of that. Because, here at the house, they have their little doggy door that they go in and out of as they need to, and they really enjoy that. And I really enjoy that. I got that because I used to be the one to, like, have to get up at 4 a.m. to let the dogs out. And then I wouldn't be able to go back to sleep, and I had to go to work, and it was really tough on me. But anyways, that is a big reason why I stayed behind, is because it'd just be easier for all of my dogs to be able to go outside and, like, on their own. And for me to have the house to where I don't have to be up with them. Like, if I'm literally bowled over in bed in agony, then I feel like it's just easier for me to have my little setup where the dogs are, she just walked in, one of my dogs, where the dogs are all used to having, like, everything that they need to go out. And I don't really have to deal with them, about that. And anyway, oops, I think I used the wrong shade. I wanted to use the yellowy one. Anyway. Oh no, I used the right one. So yeah, my point is I wanted to stay home just because here at home, I have all the conveniences of life that I truly need and appreciate, especially when I'm not feeling my best, which is literally a touch and go situation from one day to the next. If you're curious about any of the makeup that I'm putting on, as far as like shades or what products they are, like if I'm not showing you specifically up here, if I don't think about it, be sure to check down below in the description box. I will have everything listed down there so that you can see it. And at the very end of this video, I will also do a quick little overview of the makeup that I used for my look today. So be sure to check for that if you're curious. But anyway, back to my point. My point is that, yeah, so just for it to be easier, I just thought, let me go ahead and just skip this trip. So I've been really enjoying having the house to myself, and it actually ended up being a blessing that I'm just doing a little bit of spot coverage so that I can use my Christian Dior concealer that I haven't had the opportunity to use in a while, and just so that I can get a little bit more of a snatched full beat. Anyway, and so it ended up being a really, really, really good thing that I stayed home. And this wasn't something, like what I'm about to share with you, isn't something that I could have foreseen, okay? Literally, I had to take my family to the airport at 5 o'clock in the morning on the day that they left town, okay? And that's because since I wasn't going to be going where they were going, my husband decided that they would go to a baseball game at the town that they like went to. And he knows that that's like not really my thing. So anyway, when we travel, he's always like, yeah, I want to go to whatever sporting event is happening in that town. And I'm always just like, dude, I'm not going to go sit through that sporting event. Are you crazy? I was like, I don't want to do that on my trip. And so he doesn't get to do that because that's just not my thing. I mean, he has gotten to do that on some trips, but my point is I don't do it with him. I will usually like let him go to the stadium, I'll drop him off at the stadium, and then I'll like head over to the nearest shopping center and just do some like shopping for stuff, But anyway, so my point is, I dropped them off at the airport at 5 a.m. And then I came home, and so I told my mom, I was like, hold on, let me just set my face. That morning when I got back from the airport, I called my mom and I was just like, hey, do you have a vacuum cleaner I can borrow? Because I know she's got a good vacuum. And all three of mine had gone kaput. And she was just like, normally she probably would have lent it to me, but her husband is allergic to dogs. And I have 3 dogs that obviously I would be vacuuming up their hairs with. And, you know, I understand allergies. So, I was like, she was like, I would like to loan it to you, but you know, you've got dogs. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about his allergies. I was like, don't worry about it. I was like, I'm just going to go buy one. She felt kind of bad, but I was like, no, it's fine. Really. I'm just going to go buy one. And, that way I can have a working vacuum. So I went and bought a vacuum cleaner and then I came home. Okay. And I was about to start cleaning my little heart out. Okay. When I called one of my friends that I thought I was going to see at the Drowning Pool concert the weekend before, which if you caught my last Get Ready With Me, you know what a scary event that night was. Like what happened. And so anyway, she wasn't there. And so I called her that morning right before I was going to start cleaning. And I was just like, hey, what are you doing? And she sounded not good at all. She sounded not well. And she was just like, yeah, I'm on my way to a funeral. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, whose funeral? And she says the name, like the full name, or the full first name, should I say. And I was like, wait, who's that? And she said her last name. I was like, oh my God. And I said her nickname, you know, and she was like, yeah. I was like, what? Her funeral, she died? Basically, one of our friends from like my friend from high school died. And she's literally like 5 weeks older than me. Or she was 5 weeks older than me. And so, needless to say, I took that as quite a shock. And instantly, I was just like, girl, okay, hold on. I'm actually, before I get into this story a little further, I am actually going to be using both of my Charlotte Tilbury bronzers today. So, first I'm going to do a little bit of contouring. And then I'm going to do, hold on, let me find the right brush. Okay, this one will work. Yeah, I was like, if I had started, which one? Okay. If I had had the garage sale, I wouldn't have called her that morning because I would have been too busy, obviously, and I wouldn't have found out. And so it was like absolute fate that I didn't have the garage sale. And it was actually quite fortunate that I called her when I did, because she said she was going to the funeral right then and there. And because I was like, when is it? She was like, right now. And I was like, oh my God, where? You know, and she and I live kind of far from each other because I moved away from that area. And then it actually ended up being somewhere that was pretty far from her, like in the opposite direction of me. And so I had twice the distance basically to travel to get there. And I was just like, okay, send me all the information, please. And she was like, well, there's going to be a celebration of life afterwards in the afternoon. I was like, okay. And so send me that information too, the address for both places. I was like, I want to attend. And she was like, okay, sure. And so she sent me the information, and I did like the Google Maps, and there was just no way I was going to make it to the funeral in time. And so now I'm using the second shade, the darker one. There was just no way I was going to make it in time, which made me so, so sad. But I'm so thankful that I found out when I did, because I was able to at least arrive. Like I texted her you know, right then, and after I had done the Google Maps, and I was just like, yeah, I'm too far. I'm not going to make it. I was like, so I'll catch you at the celebration of life afterwards. And so I didn't hear back from her until literally 45 minutes later. And by then, I had just finished putting on makeup and getting ready. I had just finished putting on my makeup and getting dressed. And I had gone in and out of like what to wear. Because at first I was like dressed really, really like formal for a funeral, you know, and kind of somber. But then when I realized that I'm not going to make it to the funeral, I decided to change my clothes and wear something a little bit more peppy, a little bit more cheerful looking, since I was going to be going to the celebration of life. And I decided that, yeah, I'd just take it down a notch and go more casual. And I'm so glad that I did that, because I was able to just be a lot more comfortable. And so I'm going to use this shade right here for a more natural look, because I'm going to be doing an olive green eye look. Anyway, and so she texted me and she was like, okay, good, because it just ended. And I was like, oh my gosh, I would have still been on the road for 30 minutes trying to make it. And so I texted her. I was like, okay, well, where are you headed to next? Because there was like a 3-hour gap from the end of the funeral to the beginning of the celebration of life. And I was like, where are you headed to next? I'll meet you there. And then she sent me the name of where they were going to be going. And so I was like, okay, I'll meet you there. And she was like, cool, I'll see you then. And so then, you know, I was kind of nervous because I had stopped talking to all of these friends, which is why I didn't know that my friend had passed away, which I feel horrible about, okay? But I had stopped talking to all of my friends from high school, all of them, every single one of them from high school, during the time that that my life was ebbing away from me, okay? And I didn't realize that I was going to survive that. And so I don't know, I was kind of really, hold on just a second. I'm just using the Huda Beauty powder to kind of soften up my cream products I just put on. Okay. I was just kind of really going through it, and I didn't want like any talk to get back to like my high school sweethearts. I was just kind of embarrassed, and which I know now in hindsight is really stupid. I mean, you know, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, but this is what I was feeling at the time, okay? And I've definitely learned my lesson about it now. You know, I've definitely learned my lesson about it now. But at the time, this was my thought process, okay? And so I had stopped talking to every single person from high school because I didn't want my exes to find out how ill I was, you know, and I was just getting worse and worse, and I didn't even know what was wrong with me. And so like no doctor could figure it out or anything. And so I was just like kind of freaking out, and I didn't handle it well, you know? And so because of that, I missed the last few years of my friend's life, and it makes me really sad. But on to something else that was really, really cool is that, hold on, where did I put my brow stuff? I just changed my setup, and so now I don't know like which drawer my stuff is in. So hold on. Oh, here it is. Okay. So, yeah, like 3 days before the funeral, I was at home, and, you know, I was just kind of like looking out the window in my kitchen and looking at all the beautiful nature. And all of a sudden, she popped into my mind. Okay. And I hadn't thought about her in quite some time. All right. And the last time, like when I decided to delete her from like my friends list or whatever, I had recently discovered some stuff about, you know, things that she had done back in high school, kind of behind my back or whatever. And I mean, it's not like she and I were super close. As a matter of fact, I think she knew who I was, and that's because of who my boyfriend was at the time. And so That's honestly how a lot of these people knew me was, hold on, I'm trying to find this brush, was because of who my boyfriend was. And so I just messed up my bronzer up there. God dog it. Hold on. And so, anyway, I think that was why at the like high school reunion or whatever, she kind of was like, hey girl. And I was just like, hey. And like, I kind of remembered her face, but like I had a really, really terrible memory. I blocked out a lot of my years from youth. Like I remember moments and events, but like I don't remember things in like in just like a timeline of series of events. And that's because of all the trauma that I endured during my entire childhood for various reasons. Anyway, so you know, I just kind of was like, I don't really remember this chick, but I mean, like, if she said we were friends, you know, I must have like at least talked to her once or twice, because how does she know me? I mean, everybody did know who I was, but I didn't really know everybody else, you know, because I didn't really hang out down in the thick, because back then, you know, a lot of those people were, let me be careful for the YouTube monetization. A lot of those people were making not the very best choices, let's just say. But anyway, okay, now that this face is almost done, I'm going to go ahead and set it. Actually, let me add my highlighter. Am I going to use my Hourglass highlighter? I actually have been using this a whole lot lately, but I think I'm going to use my Pat McGrath highlighter that's in the face palette that I used today. And since this one's right next to the blush, I feel like it will go nicely with it. And I'm going to use this highlighter here, like this highlighting brush. Anyway, I like hung out with them enough to where like I knew who they were. Plus they were all friends with like my boyfriend, or one of my boyfriends. And so like I needed to know who they were so that I could know what was going on and all of that. But like I didn't really hang out like they hung out, you know what I mean? I was over here trying to avoid making those life-altering decisions, and you know, I was headed towards college, not prison. And so anyways, I lost touch with a lot of these high school friends in recent years, and I was standing there in my kitchen and she literally popped into my mind out of nowhere. And it wasn't just like a fleeting thought to where like when you think of someone, you think of them and then you're just like, oh, okay. And then you just like move on to whatever else it is that you're doing. Or if, you know, you're able, or that other person is lucky or whatever, you will like call them or something. Sorry, I had like little fuzz stuck to my face. But anyways, I didn't reach out. I didn't call her, but also the thought didn't just end. Hold on, let me. What ended up happening was a series of all my memories with her played through my mind. And I just thought that was so strange because I hadn't thought of her like that in years. And I had never thought of her like that. Like I had thought of her where moments would cross my mind and I would remember things, but like it wasn't ever like kind of like your life flashes and you see everything all at once, like a movie just like playing and scene after scene after scene in rapid succession, you know. That was what happened like with all of my memories of her all of a sudden. And I was just like thinking to myself how I felt badly for losing touch with her. And then I briefly considered reaching out, but I was just like, nah. If she hadn't have done what I recently found out that she did, then I would be in touch with her and I would reach out, you know. And I was like, and honestly, had I known at the reunion that she did what she did in the past, if I would have known then what I knew now, I don't think that I would have been friends with her still, like in recent years. Like, I don't think we would have had those memories together. And so that was what kept me from reaching out to her. But I really regret that. Well, I mean, she had already passed away, it turns out. Yeah, so in hindsight, it was like her spirit coming to say goodbye to me and tell me basically, that she loved me and she cared about me. And I'm sorry. I didn't I didn't expect to get sad. I didn't even cry while I was there with all of my friends at her celebration of life. I almost did, though. I started to get teary-eyed, and her husband was like, hey, the funeral was earlier. This is a celebration of life. This is a happy party. And I was like, you're right. I'm sorry. I was like, I'm sorry I missed the funeral. I didn't make it in time. I said I live really far away. But after that, I took it upon myself to just kind of say bye to everybody, and I left because I take the loss of life really hard. I'm just really sensitive to the fragility of life, especially more so now after I had my near-death experience. Like I've had several near-death experiences like from danger, and that's one thing or another. That's more of like an adrenaline thing. But this most recent experience was a near-death experience that was literally my life slowly ebbing away from me, and that really gave me time to like think and realize that my perspective about life and a lot of things was just really askew, and that I didn't see things correctly. And so anyways, I wish so badly that I wouldn't have walked away from my friends when I thought I was dying. I wish that I wouldn't have tried to take that mourning opportunity from them, that opportunity to mourn my loss or the loss of me or whatever away from them. Because I thought I was going to die. I literally was about to die, but then just in the nick of time, I found a doctor that believed what I believed was wrong with me, and he actually saved my life. Anyway, and so I really regret that I pulled away from my friends and would have taken away the opportunity for them to know that I was leaving and that I was gone, and to pay their respects if they wanted to. Yeah, so anyways, I instantly like rekindled my friendship with a lot of, well, I say a lot, but there's really only like a handful of remaining people from that high school era of mine, because I went to multiple high schools. I moved around a lot, so I wasn't like at the same school the whole time like everybody else was. So like I wasn't as deeply ingrained into the group of friends as they were. Like they all knew each other from junior high and like elementary school and stuff, so they had really grown up with each other and seen each other like change and take bad paths in life, and they kind of all did it together, and then I came in high school where I was already like from a different world, but anyways, I'm so thankful that I was able to rekindle my connection with all of these people that still remain alive. There's a handful of those people, and it felt so good to see everybody, even though it was for such a sad occasion. And we actually could, like, we knew that she was there with us because her sister kept hearing her name getting called, and she kept looking around. She's like, who's calling me? And we were like, well, it's not us. It's happened for over an hour. And she's like, I swear to God, I keep hearing my name being called. We all just looked around and we were like, it's Kat. It's Kat. Kat's here. She wants you to know that she's here with us. And we all just started, we're like, she would have wanted to be here so much. And then we were like, well, she is here. But like we knew that she would have wanted to be there in human form so much. But we knew that her spirit was still with us. Anyway, this was a really happy occasion. And I'll forever credit her untimely, unexpected, shocking passing. I'll forever credit her with me getting my friends back and teaching me that it's okay to let people know that your life is ending or over when it happens. And it's okay for everybody to talk and to be sad about your loss and to have the opportunity to mourn your existence. And so anyways, I'll forever credit her for teaching me the error of my ways. You know, as as grown as I am these days, allegedly, I mean, I'm like almost pushing 50. I'm, you know, it's not right around the corner, but it's like, you know, a step or two away. And so even as quote unquote grown as I am now, I feel like I really only started to truly mature in a way that is meaningful. Anyway, um, I just, I ended up breaking my foot. All this back to say that I'm so thankful that I broke my foot 2 days after I found out about the funeral and was able to go and see all of my friends as opposed to 2 days prior or the day of, because I don't think I would have been able to go and sit and see everybody and walk around the way that I did, because I literally had to have my foot off up and elevated for the first like 2 days, and now I'm like on day 3 and I have it partially elevated and it's not as swollen. I'm over here looking at it but it hurts, and so like it hurts whenever I have it down on the ground. And so for the next series of weeks, as much as I was trying hard not to let my content slow down, my content might slow down a little bit because I have a broken foot and it hurts when I have my foot down too long. Anyway, okay, so this is my makeup look of the day. I'm so glad that I was able to save the tears, and unfortunately it looks like I did crease a little bit of my concealer, but whatever. I'm just going to end up filming a look here in a minute, but yeah. So what I'm going to end up doing right now is I'm going to create a look in my next video that was voted on by you, my viewers, in my community tab. So thank you so much to those of you who participate in the voting polls that I like to post from time to time to get your feedback on what it is that you would like to see from me in your feed. And yeah, so I've been having a lot of fun with that. So thank you again for anybody that's been voting on those. I really, really enjoy your feedback and your interaction on that. Getting to know like your preferences and what it is that you like and stuff. And yeah, so if you'd like to have the opportunity to participate in those polls, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you're notified when those posts go up and when my videos go up, because I don't have a set schedule for uploads. So I would hate for you to miss any of my content that you would like to see. You have the choice as to whether or not you want to click on the video, but if you get all of the notifications, at least you won't miss anything that you would want to see. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed hanging out with me today. I'm so sorry that this video ended up taking a little bit of a sad turn, and I'm not sad, you know. I mean, I was sad for a few days and I was really in shock, but I feel like it's sitting better with me now. And I think a lot of it is because she did come and visit me in my mind and in my heart. Like I felt her come and say goodbye to me and to let me know that she had left human form. And so like my heart, I'm so, so thankful that she came to see me that day, and basically to let me know that she forgave me for me turning away from her and everyone for the last few years. So yeah, it's just been a really crazy week. Then the way that I broke my foot was I was just let me set my face some more because I've been crying. I had gone down and seen some guys mowing one of the neighbors' yards, and I went down there and begged them to please come and mow my yard because our lawnmower broke, and it broke before my husband left town, and he wasn't able to do the yard before he left town because of that. And you know, we have a big yard and my dogs are short and so when they were going in the backyard, like the grass was already up to here on their shoulders, and they were like almost looking like they were going through the jungle. And So anyways, I found these guys and they were like, yeah, okay, we'll work you in real quick. And I was like, okay, great. So then all of a sudden I came home and I started running around the backyard, picking up all of the sports balls that were thrown all over the yard and all of the equipment poles and, you know, athletic gear and stuff that my husband and my son just leave everywhere. And the only time they pick it up is right before they're about to use it again. And so it's like, it's always all over the yard. So anyways, I was running around trying to pick up all the stuff and I slammed my foot into our new deck because I'm not used to having a deck there. And also because I'm clumsy and because I was in a hurry not paying attention. And when I hit my foot, like it hurt so, so bad. But I thought I just like stubbed my toe or possibly had another hairline fracture or maybe broke it at the knuckle. But no, I didn't break it at the knuckle like I did in the past. I broke it down good up into the foot. So yeah, the plans that I had for tonight to go to a concert solo, since none of my friends were planning on going to this particular show and my husband is out of town still until tomorrow morning when I go pick him up, I'm not going to be able to go because if you know what happened to me at in my last Get Ready With Me, I'm not going to chance not being able to walk and not being able to wear sensible shoes to be able to protect myself, you know? And so anyways, like, yeah, I'll be home tonight with my foot up in the air. I can't be walking around like that and all of that, even if there wasn't going to be any danger lurking around the corners. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing until my foot gets a little bit better and I can walk better because I can't walk and I can't keep stumbling sideways. It's just like, ouch, hold on. Like I can't keep stumbling sideways. It's just like not good for my ankle. I'm going to end up like hurting something else, trying to overcompensate. Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's going to do it for today's makeup look. Let me know what you think of the look. If you're interested in seeing what the eye look of the day turns out like, then be sure to stay to the very, very end of the video. I'll insert a clip once I've got the eye look all done. And don't forget, I'm going to also share a visual of the makeup of the day in my makeup tray. So yeah, other than that, that's going to be it. That's all I'm going to say for today. So I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me while I put on my makeup for the day. If you did, please be sure to click the like button. It really does help my small channel out so much. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Click the notification bell before you go so you don't miss any of my uploads. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye. Okay, so here is the makeup look of the day. Yeah, there's the finished look. Let me know what you think. It's a little tight. There we go. Here is the makeup of the day that I ended up using today. Let me give you a close-up of the items. All right, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to click the like button. It really does help my small channel out so much. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.